Hey David, what's the progress on the new startup?
Yeah, so today I built out the MVP and now I'm onboarding Mati. So, yo Mati, how's it working?
I just ran the first commands.
He just ran the first commands.
I just got the API key, so I'm trying to add it somewhere.
He's trying to set it up basically, and yeah, we'll see if it works. Progress seems pretty good. All done without Fable.
Oh,
So, yeah, basically I'm the greatest programmer ever.
nice.
So basically, there's an issue with the pricing, right? We need to figure out how do we price this, because if we do a small fee and go with a merchant of record, then basically we're making like next to zero or even losing money. Open Router, which is like the main way tokens are spent on the web, charges 5.5%, and obviously they probably use Stripe and they probably don't use merchant of record, which means they probably make, I mean, if they have like very low Stripe fees, like 1.9%, maybe they make 3.6% on each transaction. So if somebody spends $100, they make 3.6. If we want to undercut them without merchant of record, or with merchant of record, then we would have to price basically the same and make like nothing almost. So the move is probably to go without merchant of record and only sell to America and go with Stripe and probably charge the same as Open Router. Or we need to figure out a different pricing model for this. But right now, this is one of the biggest reasons why this would fail. It's just, it wouldn't support itself. It just wouldn't make sense. And even if we made like $10,000 a month, it would only make like 550 if we had 5.5%, which we will not have. If we price the same and had like, we would be making like 3% at the best. So that would be like $300 for each $10,000 someone spends with us. So yeah, we need to figure out how to price this and whether there is a better business model here rather than just reselling tokens. So that is the update for today, and yeah, that's the uncertainty of starting a new startup. You don't even know if it's gonna work financially.
Proszę opowiedzieć, jaki mamy progres odnośnie nowego startupu.
Progress, yeah, abstractly. Anyway, so the progress is kind of abstract because after reading this essay from Paul Graham, which I would recommend everyone to read, it's called How to Earn $1 Billion. It's actually, the first half is kind of useless. It's just debunking leftists, proving that you basically can earn $1 billion without scamming people because people are retarded. But the second half is really useful. The second half is on how to actually do this. And most people become billionaires by starting a startup, and the startup grows rapidly and the company is valued at over $1 billion. So he talks about what is required, and that basically two things are the growth rate and the size of the market. And you know that people shouldn't really worry about the size of the market, what they should worry about is growth rate. And then he goes into like how to spot an idea that can achieve, well, like, to get the growth rate, you basically need to build something so good that people tell their friends about it. And then he's like, okay, but how do you get a startup idea like that? And it is basically by understanding a certain type of people super deeply. And the easiest way to do that is with yourself, because you know you understand yourself, you understand your problems and the tools you use, and especially if you're young, you kind of see you see the trends ahead, like what we are doing in our early 20s. I mean, you know, Maciej is in his late 20s, but what we're doing is basically the thing that everyone will be doing in 5 to 10 years. So whatever problems we have, whatever tools we use, it's kind of indicator of future trends, right? So looking at what you want to exist, what you want to build, that's the best way. Instead of looking for startup ideas, you should be like building cool projects and see where it goes, because a lot of people disqualify ideas too aggressively. For example, he gave like Facebook, and you know, Facebook was just like rating hot girls at Harvard. That was not a serious business, but it started off as like a small social network and it grew. Airbnb was even more ridiculous. It was just like sleeping at people's airbeds when there was a conference in the city. Like now it's obvious, but back then it sounded ridiculous. Also Twitch.tv for live streams. Now it's obvious, but back then it was named Justin TV, and Justin was the founder, and he was literally just walking around with a camera taped to his head, walking around the city, like recording himself all day. So that was very retarded, but now it's a multi-billion-dollar company. And a lot of most of these didn't start with the question like, what is the startup idea, what company to build, what business to start. They started because of that unique need of like building these small projects with friends and understanding your own problems and your friends' problems. And basically, after reading this, I realized that my approach was incorrect because I was trying to like force it. I was trying to brainstorm as many startup ideas as possible and get the best idea and choose the best idea instead of doing what he said. It's just like looking at what are the things I'm doing, the small projects I'm building, the things I really want to exist, and making those instead. So I changed my approach now, and that's how I'm proceeding. And I'm just going to be building these projects, launching them, doing like small demos on Twitter and stuff like that, and really trying to build the stuff that I really feel myself I need. And that's going to be my approach going forward. New progress today. Basically, we decided to take a different approach of figuring out what problems we have, what we need to exist. And right now we're wasting a lot of time and money and effort on hiring and finding AI developers, video editors. We're spending literally hundreds of dollars on Facebook ads, on Google ads, interviewing dozens of people, and most people are not qualified, right? So we figured out, why don't we just solve our own problem and build something for us, and maybe it could turn into a startup and a company later, but basically it could be like a graph network where agents proactively find contact info and it populates based on the search. So instead of doing like a mass strategy of thousands of people apply to the type form and you need to figure out who's a good developer, it would be more proactive where you have an AI agent that looks for great developers based on their GitHub history and a bunch of other things, and it tries to figure out who are the best people for this role, what is their contact info, right? And basically it would populate the network with these people even without them having to sign up. And we also want to do like a $5 entry fee, so there is no like bots, no low quality people. Like that's the issue with every network of social media. It's just tons of low quality spammers, tire kickers, freeloaders, and obviously like bots and spam. So we want to prevent that. And before like turning this into like social media, it will just be focused on a single position, which is software engineers, developers, programmers that are AI first, that are in the AI space, they believe in AI, they know how to use the latest AI tools, and that would be like the small market that we start in, that we first build a monopoly in, and then we expand to adjacent roles. So this is the thing I'm building right now, just an MVP for that, and yeah, we'll see where this goes. I need to do more testing myself. It's easy to get stuck in codecs and be building without testing, but in reality you need to be getting your hands dirty and testing it yourself. Like the AI can do a lot, and it can do like unit tests and automated tests, integration tests, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the user, you, the human, using the product and seeing like where the onboarding takes too long, where the UI isn't obvious, where feature is when one isn't needed, where like more context is needed, stuff like that. So I need to spend less time in codecs and more time testing the actual thing. But yeah, I mean, it's ready for internal use. So I think we're going to be using it internally for a couple of days. I'm going to share it maybe to some of my AI friends, and then if that's good, maybe we can release it sooner than later. I don't know. This is why this documenting is useful. It kind of shows me like if I'm moving too slowly or if something needs to change.
So now, how soon do you think it will be?
Publicly released? I mean, first we need to choose the name.
Okay.
Right? So
but
we have some candidates that's going to be chosen either later today or tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, I definitely need to choose it at least tomorrow latest.
what's your favorite name so far?
Ultra API
Okay.
or Deep API.
Deep API. Yeah. I really like that.
That's good. One of these is good. We'll see. I'll brainstorm a few more. And yeah, we need to choose the name either today or tomorrow, latest tomorrow. And just testing. It's called dogfooding. Like that's a term in software where basically you're eating the dog food. You're eating your own like bad food. Like nobody wants to eat dog's food. But that's what you have to do as the founder, as the creator, is you have to use the product when it's the worst, right? With all the bugs, all the rough edges, and kind of dog food it, which means using it daily and really insane attention to detail, so you make it great. So that's my plan for the next 7 days, basically. But yeah, I mean, I really don't think I should wait more than 10 days to release it. So whatever the date is today,
It's 25th
25th, yeah. So
of June.
5th of July should be the deadline.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a task, set a deadline for public release.
So how much time are you spending every day on the startup?
I mean, the first half of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like 7 hours.
Okay.
It's not fully 7 hours because we do breaks and, you know, go for a walk. But yeah, let's say like 5 hours in the first half of the day, and then
Then you do.
in the evening,
Yeah.
maybe the last 2 to 3 hours of the day between like 11 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not like you know my full-time job. We have a whole business to run. This is basically starting a new business, so I need to do it on top of everything else we're doing. Yes. So here's the team. We're going from the cafe. Artu has an agent running, so he can't even close his laptop.
Reconnected, this is shit.
Okay. So yeah, basically the TLDR is that I was building the previous thing. I got an idea for a new thing, and you know, maybe we don't have to reveal too much to the viewers.
Yeah.
But since we're documenting, it's like building for the agents mainly, and that realizing that they're gonna do everything, and humans are gonna use software less and less, and it's gonna be agents using the software, and the humans are gonna be interacting with a specific agent like Codex, Cloud Code, Cursor, and that agent will call the APIs, use the tool calls, do the playbooks, whatever, right? So the thing I was building before for like the basically hiring, recruiting, it was still for humans. But then I realized like you can just solve a lot of this by giving the right prompt to an agent, and it will do it better, it will do it faster and autonomously. So then the idea is like to kind of build that infrastructure. So we'll see where it goes, but so far I'm the most bullish on this, and this is actually something we would use internally, and it's a simple bet on the number of new agents rising exponentially, and yeah, I think it's gonna work.